Go. And
Gerros.
goodbye. Ilose, Gerros, Ilose. And se is and. Rutsas. Please. Rutsas. Segueros Ilas. Da por drivose. Drivose. I was just wrapping up yesterday where I got interrupted. Turns out everything's fine. Cat's just knocked down one or two things from the fridge. Alright, today's main language is going to be Swedish. But as always, I'm taking requests for any language you guys are interested in. Welcome back to Lango Institute. I'm your verb ally. While I have you here, our homepage is langoinstitute.com. You can register for our classes. The courses we teach are here conveniently gathered. English, Korean, Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, Italian. And occasionally we have phonetics workshops. And we've got a new term that just started this Monday, but the private lessons you can schedule whenever. So the website's there, and up here in the top right corner, that's one of our book covers. Here's the other. You can find those on our website, langoinstitute.com/books. I'll leave it there for now. Here's Mingus. He's with me for the start of today's lesson.
Jag äter den.
Jag äter den. I'm eating it.
Jag älskar det.
Yeah. Okay, den must have been an animate thing. Det, neuter. I älskar. I love it.
Jag äter den.
Jag äter den. Ja, I äter den. So we've got different noun genders, classes of nouns in Swedish, indexed in different ways.
Pojken älskar oss.
Pojken. The N is a suffix showing the definite quality. The boy. Älskar, loves, us.
Vi tycker om er.
Om er.
Er.
You. Not like in German, We like you. Tycker om, I think, literally is think about. We think about means we like.
De tycker om oss.
De tycker om oss. They like us. De tycker om oss. And note that in dom, the M is pronounced but not written.
De tycker om det.
De tycker om det. They like it. De tycker om det. While in det, we have a T that's written but not pronounced. The reverse. Okay. He likes you. He is han. Likes is tycker om. Dig. Spelled dig, D-I-G. Jag äter det. Jag äter det. It should be J-A-G, jag. That makes sense. There, line of sight. Okay, and a checkpoint. Let's do that.
Äpplena.
Äpplena. This is the definite plural form. The apples expressed
Ankan äter brödet.
as a single word in Swedish.
Ankan äter brödet.
The duck eats Brödet, the bread.
Juice och kaffe.
Juice and kaffe.
Öl är en dryck.
Öl är en dryck. Beer, not oil, is en dryck. Spelled with a Y.
Vi dricker.
Vi dricker. The verb is spelled with I. We drink, or are drinking.
Han läser sin bok.
Han läser sin bok. He reads his book. Läser sin, like German sein, Buk. The dogs are drinking water. Hundarna dricker vatten is water. Dricker vatt. Hundarna dricker vatt. The cook is reading the newspaper. Koken läser tidningen. Tidningen, related to German Zeitung, but a little different suffixation. They eat the food. De äter the food, definite, maten. The boy drinks tea. Pojken dricker te. See how we did. Awesome. Let's check on Yiddish also. I meant to yesterday. 99% done. Gambatte. And with that, let's go to Japanese for a bit. And over here, if I start typing in JA, I'm going to choose this first virtual keyboard on Lexilogos. Let me just give you guys the link. Plop it in the chat here. Great resource. If you don't have it installed on your device, you can just get phonetic symbols that way.
週末
Weekend.
平日
Heijitsu. Hey, level day is the literal meaning. It means weekday. Heijitsu, same one.
平日
Hey, level jitsu day.
おとといは何をしましたか？
おとといは何をしましたか? Topic, the day before yesterday. Object of the verb shimashita is nani o. What did you do? Did you is not expressed, but we just surmise. What did you do the day before yesterday?
平日は忙しいですか？
平日は on weekdays. Topic. 忙しいですか? Are you busy? Weekdays. 週末. Some nice distractor items here.
週末はパーティーへ行きます。
パーティーへ. This is a writing
パーティー
the syllable T, which does not occur in native Japanese words. 週末は, as for the weekend, パーティーへ, toward the party, 行きます. I'm going to a party. We know it's not in the past because of the verb suffix. Going to a party this weekend. We don't need to add a word for this.
アメリカから来ました。
アメリカから来ました. No topic is named here. Kara is a postposition for source origin. I came, I have come from America. Let's put that in box. I came from America, for the US. Match the pairs. 勉強
勉強
平日
平日
is weekdays. 明日
明日
tomorrow. 週末
週末
the weekend. 木曜日
木曜日
Thursday.
火曜日から土曜日まで働きます。
働きます. No topic is named here. Start at the end to decode it. 働きます. Someone is working, like at a job. 土曜日まで until Saturday. 火曜日から from Tuesday. I work from Tuesday till Saturday. 土曜日、
土曜日、
木曜日、
木曜日、
週末、
週末、
勉強、
勉強、
平日。
平日。
はい、平日は忙しいです。
はい、yes. 平日は as for weekdays, 忙しいです。I am busy on weekdays.
おとといは仕事をしませんでした。
Alright, we're going to need some kanji to write this. おとといは and that's 3 kanjis as for a single term. The first kanji is the one for 1, M. And then the one for yesterday, A, H, S. And jitsu there is predicted.
おとといは仕事をしませんでした。
Shigoto is what we need. O-G, shigoto. J-L-L-M. Let me give you this resource. It's great for looking up Chinese characters, also called kanji, by their structure rather than by the sound. And now I'm going to take what we've got there and fill in the gaps.
おとといは仕事をしませんでした。
Wo marks direct object. Shimasen de shita. For she, you can write either SHI or save yourself a stroke and write SI. Same difference. Ototoi wa, day before yesterday. Shigoto o, the work. Shimasen deshita, I did not do.
はい、週末は忙しいです。
Yes. Shumatsu wa, as for the weekend, isugashii desu. I am busy, it is busy. Busy on weekends could be generally true.
おとといは仕事をしませんでした。
Same one we typed. I didn't work the day before yesterday.
おとといはパーティーをしました。
Ototoi wa, as for the day before yesterday, party o shimashita. I did a party. I had a party. Threw a party, maybe. The day. We know this is the past tense we're talking about.
をしました。
This ta suffix. And wo shimashita is not a meaningful phrase. I don't know why it would tell you that. Party the day before yesterday.
平日は仕事をします。
平日は仕事をします。On weekdays, I go to work. I do work. Weekdays or weekdays?
月曜日から金曜日まで仕事をします。
Break it down from the end. 仕事をします。I do work. 金曜日まで。
まで
Until Friday. 月曜日から from Tuesday. Tuesday till Friday.
中国から来ました。
中国から from China 来ました。I came. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to clean this keyboard.
月曜日から金曜日まで仕事をします。
I work from Monday to Friday. That's it. All right. $45 out of 50. Cool. I'm in 5th place? What? Good grief. Gotta double it to get to the top. Way to go. Following. Alright, more Swedish.
En fisk.
En fisk is a fish.
Ankan.
Gun has the N, that same N article suffix to mean the duck.
En sko.
And sko treated as an animate noun. grammatically. And here we saw the Dutch schoen for shoe with a sch cluster. Swedish preserves the original Germanic sk cluster in this word.
De tycker om kjolarna.
Kjol is a dress. They like the dresses.
Kjolarna.
Skirts. They think about the skirts. They like the skirts. Definite.
Du har flera jackor.
Du har flera jackor. You have many jackets. The ur is the plural mark.
Jackor.
Many and several. Good grief. Please tell me the difference between many and several.
De älskar tröjorna.
Tröjorna. Could this be the trees? They love
Tröjorna.
the sweaters. I was close. Dom, that silent or the unwritten M. They love sweaters. This one, plural, the sweaters. Definite. Yes.
Du har flera jackor.
You have several jackets. Du har flera jackor. So this CK writing in the middle shows what is really a long consonant,
Hon tycker om klänningen.
unlike what we do in English.
Hon tycker om klänningen.
She likes the clothes. The dress, klänning.
Hon har på sig skor.
Hon har på sig skor. We have a prepositional phrase, upon self. She has upon herself shoes, means she's wearing shoes.
De älskar tröjorna.
De älskar, they love, tröjorna, sweaters, the sweaters. Tröjorna.
De älskar tröjorna.
Tröjorna.
Hon tycker om klänningen.
She likes the dress. Hon tycker om klänningen.
Du har flera jackor.
I have several jackets.
Hon tycker om klänningen.
Hon, she, tycker om, likes the dress, klänningen. Kläder.
En häst.
En häst.
Socker.
Socker, long K sound.
Kläder.
Kläder, clothes.
Pojken har en skjorta.
Ja.
Skjorta.
Our word shirt is related. Pojken, the boy, definite singular, has a shirt.
Kvinnan har på sig en kostym.
Kvinnan har på sig en kostym. Doesn't mean costume, but suit. The woman is wearing a suit.
Pojken har en skjorta.
Pojken har en skjorta.
Hon älskar hatten.
Hon älskar hatten. She loves the hat. The girls, flickorna. It's plural definite. So flicka for the singular. Ur makes it plural, na definite. Och. The boys is what's that? Pojkarna, right? Karna. Pojke with final e in the singular. Welcome everyone. Please give me your requests for what language you're most interested in, and I'll switch to that.
Pojken har på sig strumpor.
Right now we're doing Swedish. Pojken, the boy, har på sig is wearing. Strumpor, socks.
Kvinnan har på sig en kostym.
The woman is wearing a suit. Kvinnan har på sig en kostym. She loves the hat. Hon, spelled O-N, loves, älskar Hatten for the hat. Älskar with an A. Good to know. I like the pants. Byxorna. Jag tycker om. Ja. Silent G there. Tycker. It's often silent, not always. Tycker om byxorna. Oh, let me flash at you. This is our second book for Korean learners that we published last year. It's on our website, languageinstitute.com. And here's our main page. The classes that we teach. If you want to learn language in a more traditional classroom style, instead of watching me just do it on Duolingo, here's the ones we teach that you can learn from us. Of course, we teach remotely too now. English, Korean, Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, Italian, with occasional other workshops, such as for phonetics. All right. And a good way to reach us is just Language Institute on Twitter, but we're on Facebook, Instagram, even Reddit, and other social media too. Always just Lango Institute. Let's finish up this little
Hennes handskar.
Hennes handskar.
Handskar.
Skar, plural of shoe here, the shoe word. Hand shoes, just like German. Hennes means her gloves.
Halsduken är hennes.
Halsduken, the neck cloth, the scarf, is hers.
Kvinnorna tycker om fickor.
Fickor. Kvinnorna, the women, tycker om, ficka.
Fickor.
Pockets.
Det är mitt skärp.
Det är mitt skärp. This tells us that the skärp noun is neuter.
Skärp.
Belt. It is my belt. Det är mitt skärp. You can see one of the other ways that the SK cluster develops in Swedish is not just to ska, depends on the quality of the following vowel.
Det är mitt skärp.
Skärp. It's a sort of palatal fricative with lip rounding. Schwa.
Det är din rock.
Det är din rock. This is an animate noun
Rock.
for coat. Note how this word means many different things from language to language. Rock is German for skirt. We have the word frock from the same source. Det är din rock. Det är din rock, rather. It is your coat. Is that what it is in Swedish? I've forgotten already.
Rock.
So probably originally referred to a long coat-like garment that covered part of the legs.
Har du en knapp?
Har du en knapp? Do you have a
Knapp.
button, like Knopf in German? Har du, do you have? We invert those two words to form a question. En knapp, a button.
Jag har flera slipsar.
This is the word for ties, this noun. I have several ties. Jag har flera neckties. Jag har flera slipsar. The women, kvinnorna, tycker om. Pockets was fickor. So I guess it would be a fick in the singular. Past tense of få. Maybe it's ficka. So this få is an interesting verb, means to catch, I think. This is the one we want, pocket.
En ficka.
Ficka with a long K sound. It's not showing me where it's from, alas. What should I do next? Add another language to today's rotation. I'm going to go back to Japanese. cover as much ground here. Position as I can.
下、
Shita, the downside. Right. Migi.
左、
Study left.
仕事、
Shigoto.
右、
Migi.
下、
Shita.
下、
Left. Hidari.
左、
パーティー、右。
左、
Hidari.
椅子はテーブルの上です。
椅子はテーブルの上です。The chair is above the table, I guess. Or on. Or on the table, yep. Shita. So these two kanji,
下、上。
they're showing the direction pretty directly. The line is like the standard, and the other part sprouts upward or downward.
下、
Still downward.
下、
Shita. Down or below could also mean. Migi.
石、
Ishi.
右。
Migi. Hidari.
左、
Na.
な、
Ue.
上。
Shita.
下、
Migi.
右、
Ue.
上。
Upward or the top. Ue.
上、
下。
下、
Bi. Hidari.
左、
Migi.
右、左。
Left direction, not the participle.
下、
Shita. Okay. Shita, the downward one. M-Y. There it is.
上、
Ue. Same components. Y-M. Alright, if you follow along in this pale colored box, it shows what you can get from the components you've entered. The Y component is just this one. That's the first part of Ue. M is that straight line stroke. There we go. That's what they look like together.
右、
Migi is the right.
上、
Ue, top, or above, or upward. Outside. Soto.
外、
Soto. Down step.
左、
Hidari.
外、
本、
Hon.
外、
Book.
外、
Soto.
左、
Hidari.
本。
Hon.
私は本が好きです。
Watashi wa hon ga suki desu. I like books. As for me, watashi wa topic.
本が、
Hon ga.
本が、
The existence of books, kind of, is what the guy is showing. Suki desu. I am fond of them.
母と父の間に私がいます。
Aida ni. In their
の間に、
between them. Yeah, yeah, the interval, the space between. So, imas. So to decode this, let's break it down by looking at the end. That mistake. Oh, putting in the wrong thing. Yeah, I do it all the time on stream. It seems like much more often than when I'm just playing Duolingo on my own. All right, imas is used for living beings, talking about their existence, their position. I am. Watashi ga. It's the subject of the verb.
父の間に、
Ni part tells us the place where. To be in a place in the interval between mother and father. I am between mom and dad. Haha to chichi ni, chichi no aida ni. We've got these nice particles that sort of tell us what to do with the nouns. This one, to, conjoins two nouns. And the no gives us a possessive structure there between space.
母
This is all a phrase. And
の
then
間に、
tells us that's the place where.
中に兄がいます。
Nakani, in the middle. Ani ga, big brother, exists. Imas. Big brother is in the middle, we could say. Nakani, inside.
母と父の間に私がいます。
Hahato.
母と父の間に私がいます。
Same one we saw. So father and mother, we need those kanji. CK, it's father. There's mother, predicted.
母と父の間に私がいます。
Aida is next. A-N-A. Watashi ga H-D-I. Imasu is all written phonetically. We're going to plop this down here.
母と父の間に私がいます。
I got these in the wrong order. 母と父の間に私が. All of those ones that I put here in between are what we call grammatical particles. They signal, they let us know how this noun relates to what's going on in the sentence. Watashi ga imasu. This verb is just written phonetically.
ちょっと働きます。
I work a little. ちょっと to a small degree. Why do mouth work? Distinguish left and right. What is left and right about those symbols, and how do you keep which is which in your mind? That's a great question. I work a little. Okay, so what Levi is asking about there, Japanese, are these kanji. The left side has the crossing hand K and then M. It's left, like left hand. The sound is hidari. The hand part, well, let me put the right one. It's there. It's predicted. If you wanted to input it, though, it would be K and then R for the lower part. That's the right hand. Migi in Japanese. So, the common component in these two characters, that upper one, the K stroke, that's what depicted the hand. And the left hand with this, so this shape here, MLM, this kanji depicts a carpenter's square. So the left hand is holding that. So just keep the right-handed bias in mind. The right hand is doing the cutting or writing or whatever, marking, and the left hand is holding the carpenter's square. So that's that union here, this one actually. The right is just the other. So this common component in both those that now is squared off like this, it used to be here's the older form of it, this kind of a shape, which clearly depicts a hand. So as the writing materials changed over the centuries and millennia, it just reduced to that kind of a shape, but that's what's in common there. Or should it, maybe it was this one actually. One of these hand shapes is what this develops from. I don't remember the orientation. And the mouth in the right word is just to tell you that that's the, well, hard to express. What am I trying to say? This mouth, this right hand one, on its own, this shape developed into this yo, which now means again, once more. Whereas with the mouth below, it's a differentiation. This is the ancestral form of the right hand. Hope that clears that up. Just remember that the left hand holds the carpenter's square. Let's take a moment to look at the old forms. Wiktionary is a good resource there. Okay, here. In the oracle bone, in the oldest stage of writing, it was just that upper component, which depicted a right hand. And then as they used this character, the right hand, to mean again, they needed to create a new one for the old meaning right hand. And let's look at left. How that goes. Here it is. So here it is coming, it's the left side, and the square is just added to fill out the space, I suppose. Don't really know. What does this explanation tell us? Originally as this na shape in the oracle bone script, late bronze inscription forms show an added gung work assist component, i.e. the current form is a phonosemantic compound. There you go. And the meaning of assist is preserved in this derivative. Chotto hatarakimasu. We got that.
その本を買いませんでした。
その本を買いませんでした. No topic is named. Let's start with the verb. 買いませんでした did not buy the book. Which book? That book over by you. I did not buy that book.
明日はちょっと忙しいです。
明日は as for tomorrow, ちょっと忙しいです. It is a little busy. I'm a little busy. Busy tomorrow.
中
inside. The middle.
レストランの中で食べます。
レストランの中で食べます。
の中で
Here too, no topic of the sentence is expressed. Nope. 食べます. I eat. And then let's go backwards. 中で inside something. Inside of what? レストランの inside the restaurant.
猫は外にいます。
猫は as for the cat. 外にいます. It is outside.
外に姉がいます。
外に outside. 姉が big sister. います. She exists there. Is outside.
本を買いました。
本を Thank you. 買いました. I bought. Marked for past tense. 本を the book, a book.
本は机の上にあります。
Alright, a different verb for location. If the thing whose existence we're talking about is not alive, not a living thing, we're going to use aru, arimasu. The mas ending shows respect for the person you're talking to. As for the book, 本は so it's in a position, in a place, 上に on top. Top of what? 机の on top of the desk. The book is on the desk. We can say
父と母の間で食べます。
I eat 食べます。父と母の間で in the space between, we can just say between dad and mom.
レストランの外で食べます。
レストランの外で食べます。I eat outside the, that's odd, outside the restaurant. Please. So we had a hiccup there or something. What's going on? Okay.
中に兄がいます。
中に inside 兄が big brother exists います is inside rather is inside. A whole lot of ground to cover on the position. Let's stick with this a bit longer. Okay, well, another 90 points. Overtake someone.
横
This means horizontal, yoko. And it's the first component in Yokohama. Place near Tokyo. It was a city designated for foreigners primarily, I believe. At least at one time it was.
隣
It's a three-syllable word, right?
隣
Onari, and it's got the three symbols here. In these phonetic spellings, the number of full-size components tells you how many syllables to expect. It means neighbor.
隣 隣
あなたの前にいます。
あなたの前にいます. I am in front of you. The I part is not mentioned in this sentence. But English needs it. Someone is in front of you.
兄はテーブルの横にいます。
Table no. Okay, what's the meaning here? In the
の横に
beside. Not familiar with that usage. Okay. In the space beside the table. Ani wa, big brother, is beside the table. Brother is beside the table.
横
This word.
横
Interest in languages. Well, so when I was 3 or 4, my family moved to the Netherlands, and I started school. I started learning to read and write in Dutch. So it's always been, all the time I've been in school. No, that's not true. Most of the time I was in school, though, was at least dealing with 2 or 3 languages at once. It just kind of became my thing. There was a while we were living in the States when I was in grades 3 to 5, where it was just English, no foreign languages. But I don't know, developed an aptitude. A lot of the time I was in school, it was in a foreign language for me. And then after about the age of 11 or 12, started learning other languages through German. Yeah, like I said, just discovered an aptitude and kept on with it in college, majored in linguistics.
隣に母がいます。
Not quite from birth, but pretty soon thereafter. From the age of 4, I was learning languages other than my native English. 隣に母がいます. Mom is next door. What should we say here?
隣に
Can also mean, like I said, can also mean neighbor or neighborhood. Mom is next door. How about you, programmer? How did you first begin?
たくさん食べます。
I eat a lot or will eat a lot. 隣
後ろに椅子があります。
後ろに椅子があります. So look for these particles. Ni for a position, like a goal or a target. Ga for the thing whose existence we're talking about. Isu ga, a chair. Arimasu, exists, it is. Ushiro ni, in the space behind, is behind us or something. Behind me. Shita is below.
下
Alright, Levi. Which one is this with the carpenter square? It's hidari.
左
Left hand, which means this
右
is the right hand. Tonari.
隣横水がたくさんあります。
In kanji, mizu ga water.
水が
Takusan,
たくさん
abundantly. It exists. Arimasu. You could say there is a lot of water. Ue.
上
There you are. Shita.
下
Tonari.
隣
Yoko.
横
And hidari. Which hand is that, Levi?
左
The left hand.
椅子はテーブルの隣にあります。
So I need to give you a bit more time because of the lag here. Alright. Isu wa teburu no tonari ni arimasu. So,
にあります。
arimasu talking about possession or existence. Something exists. Tonari ni, next to something else. Teburu no, next to the table. Isu wa, as for the chair. A chair is next to the table. Next door, literally.
あなたの前にいます。
Anata no mae ni imasu. We're going to need one kanji for mae. T-B-L-N. Ah, I had a bit too much there already. T-B-L-N. Mae. Grab that and take it next door.
あなたの前にいます。
Means I'm in front of you. Anata no mae ni imasu. Note that we have no word spaces. You don't need them for Japanese. We've got these kanji that are usually at the beginning of a noun or a verb. So that kind of does the same type of work as a word space, letting you know where something new begins.
あなたの後ろにいます。
Anata no ushiro ni imasu. Again, I is implied. I am behind you. Phrase by phrase. Anata no your ushiro ni, your behind space in imasu. I exist.
父は母の横にいます。
Amazing journey. Okay, been a messy road of a few languages, born, raised, educated in U.S., but also fifth generation Czech. Wow, that's amazing to preserve a family language for 5 generations. Most impressive. Spanish throughout school and work. Yep. Uni and afterward, and in Korean. Cool. That sounds pretty spectacular. Czech and Korean. Maybe let's add Spanish, of course. I don't know, are you interested in watching any of those? I guess you probably know more than I do. Are there any you're working on now or are particularly interested in? Or have questions about? I'm here for all of it. Alright, yoko ni was beside.
にいます。の横に
Since no subject is named, I assume the speaker is talking about themselves. I am next to Chichi wa. Oh no, there is a topic name. Silly me. Chichi wa. This one.
父は
Pronounced here wa means dad is. He's what this sentence is about. Dad is am. Dad is next to mom. Is the meaning.
弟がたくさんいます。
Good. Yeah, me too. I dabble in lots of languages. Could call it dabbling. Dablinguistics. So even unrelated languages separated like by half the planet, you can have things that show up that are the same or nearly alike, and that's because all languages are growing inside the human mind, and so they just tend to reflect certain features of our mental anatomy.
弟がたくさんいます。
No, thank you. How many times I gotta decline?
弟がたくさんいます。
So the thing whose existence we're talking about is ototo, younger brothers. Takusan means abundantly, in large amount. Imas, they exist. So we could say I have a lot of little brothers. Thank you. Always on the lookout for those ling words. I guess let's do one more and I will refill my drink then. Etc. Let's do one with no views. Arimasu ka? Oh boy, harder and harder to find some with no views. That's good. Bed. Beddoa.
小さい、
Chisai, small. Doesn't mean mouse, it's small.
大きい、
Key is big.
ベッド
Taken from English, and it's special. It has a geminate voice. Bab linguistics. Love it. That's what I'm talking about. Big. Oki.
小さい
Chisai. We gotta listen to the pitch accent as we go through each word. The pitch is gonna go up and down
ベッド
at some point at least once.
大きい
Oki. What is up? Weird day today for Twitch, at least on my end.
あのベッドは大きいです。
Beddo wa ookii desu. So the first cut we need to make in a sentence is topic from the comment. Ano beddo wa. That bed. And that's going to be what this sentence is about. Comment part tells us ookii desu, meaning it is big. Small.
ベッド、大きい、
Ookii.
小さい、
Chisai.
うちの家族は大きいです
Uchi no kazoku wa ookii desu. Same action. Here the topic. Everything preceding wa is uchi no. It's funny because
家族は
first kanji in
家族
kazoku
は
can also be read as uchi, but this
家族
compound
は
kazoku. Uchi no kazoku. So uchi is a really central concept for Japanese. Far less important in English-speaking world, I think. It means my in-group. So, like, my family, and the extension of self, those who I am closest to, including me. Uchi is my people. So my family, maybe my friends at school would be my uchi, including self. So here we could say my family or our family would all be uchi no kazoku wa. Ookii desu, the comment part tells us it is big. Alright.
本が10冊あります
Listen for the sound of the numeral here, Levi. What is it?
本が10冊あります本が10冊あります
think it's jusatsu. The number 10 sometimes contracts like that, rather than jusatsu with a long vowel. Why? Because it used to end in P, and a P between vowels got lost, but it could contract with a voiceless consonant. Honga.
Honga.
There's no topic per se, we just have a subject in this one. Books. Then comes the amount, which consists of a numeral part, ju, 10, and a counting word, satsu, like volumes of books. Arimasu, they exist. There are, in English it's much simpler, we just put a numeral with a noun, but not in Japanese.
机の上に本が3冊あります。
Very similar here. No topic, but let's name the particles. We've got the possessive one, ni, goal or target, ga, existence, subject marker. Alright, above, on top of the desk, in that place, books exist
あります。
in the amount of 3 volumes. Let's say there are 3 books, bookas, on the table, or desk. Table for table, 机 for the desk.
うちの本棚は小さいです。
うちの本棚は小さいです。I hope the rest of you aren't having the same trouble I am. It keeps cutting off my stream, which I don't like. うち
うちの本棚
my in-group's bookshelf. Our bookshelf. 小さいです. The shelf has the wa after it. That's our topic. 小さいです is small.
本が本棚に1冊あります。本が
subject. As for just books. Here's the ni
本
on
棚
the bookshelf. Arimasu, they exist in the amount of 1 volume. There is 1 book on the bookshelf.
本が本棚に7冊あります。
Arimasu,
冊
existence is what we're talking about. Subject is hon, the book. On the bookshelf. Hondana ni 7冊.
本が本棚に7冊あります。
7 of them. There are 7 books on the bookshelf.
本が本棚に1冊あります。
That's good. Thank you, Levi. Just lucky me.
本が本棚に1冊あります。
Alright, we're gonna need a few kanji. Let's get those first. Hon. DN. Hondana, same one again. And dana, of course, as you saw, DBB. I've never seen it used in Chinese. Only in Japanese so far. Pronounced peng, just like the friend. Means tent, booth, shed in Chinese, not a shelf. Honwa, or ga.
本が本棚に1冊あります。
And we need to write isatsu. Ichi is M. Satsu, BT. This one. The rest will be phonetic. Honga marks the subject. Hondana ni location. Isatsu arimasu. Satsu arimasu. Well, it does look interesting. Do you know what it is in Korean, Levi? Satsu. We're talking about this BT. So both of these kanji, the top ones, are in this Sanjia system decomposed the same way. You've got the small N-shaped enclosure and then two vertical lines meeting or crossing a horizontal is what the T stroke is. Let's look at the old forms for this satsu. I think it depicts a string with bamboo slips on it. So here's the old forms. Whoops. You've got these, so each of the vertical ones would be a bamboo slip, and then they're tied together with string or something. That was the old way that they made books in China when they were handmade. Bamboo slips strung together, and here's the thing itself. That's what the character depicts. Isn't that cool? These are fragments of old books. The second year of the era of Yongguang. Yongguang, eternal light, an officer of Jia Chu, don't know that company, reported to his superiors about the granting of leave of absence to Cheng She on grounds of the death of his father. This scroll was found largely intact, including the connecting strings. So, we've got old character forms here. Oh, that's Yongguang, the eternal light ones. 2 something, 3 something king. And these are time words, counting words in the cycles. Qu is the canal. Shu, this looks like the word for, oh, it's li. It's an official rank. Never mind, not shu. Yin means to press or to print. And some more. Hondana.
本棚、
Hidari.
左、
Satsu
札、
is the one we were looking up. And we saw the original thing. Migi.
右、
Shita.
下、
昨日はうちにいました。
Second year. Looked like year. Why is this so hard? You might be right, yeah. Good eye. Year 2 of the 3 kings. Let's see, maybe this caption transcribes it. Yes, it does. 汉元帝永光2年, second year. So that would be 西元前 42 BC, yeah, about 2,000 years ago. 甲渠势, not 图, 势力, 向 toward, 上级报告, 后长正社, that's that name. In 父嗣, because of father dying. 怀余, or 准余. 丧假, maybe. Funeral leave. The. Whoa, is that the used in the text? 报告. No, this is a description. It's not a transcription. This is a description, not a transcription of what's happening, of the plot of these bamboo strips. But it includes some of the same ones. The de possessive particle is part of modern Chinese. It's not ancient. That's why I was surprised by it here in the text. But anyway, back to Nihongo. We're almost done. Sakujitsu, or
昨日、
Kino wa, as for yesterday. Topic. Uchi ni imashita. Here, uchi is used to refer to a place. And you go on to read the entire translation. Well, I've spent quite a bit of time on Chinese, decade and a half or more by now. But thank you. Uchi ni imashita. Yesterday, I stayed. We could also say for iru, not just to be in a place, but to stay. I stayed at home. So uchi, not to refer to the in-group per se, but the place, home. Either way. Tonari.
隣、
Kyusatsu, 9
9
books.
冊、
Hondana.
本棚、
Satsu.
札、
Hidari.
左、
Year 2 of the 3 kings. Yeah, what was that? So there's one that's covered by the string there. It might be San Yue, the 3rd month or something. Would be a natural one to expect after the year one. Just a guess.
このベッドは小さいです。
But it's always in that order in Chinese. It's never month first, then year. Even in classical Chinese 2,000 years ago. Largest unit proceeding to smaller ones. このベッド
ベッ
は
ドは
is this bed. 小さいです is small. Is small. Second year. Good. 本が10冊あります. if it's a contracted numeral.
うちの台所は大きいです。
台所, a big one. What's that? うちの台所, big place? No, it means like terrace or platform place.
は、台所
Kitchen. Yeah. うちの home's kitchen は topic. Our kitchen. 大きいです is big.
小さいベッドですね。
小さいベッド. Different usage of the adjective. Collective before the individual. Indeed, that's a good way to put
小
it.
さい
Thank you for that wording. I think I'll use that. Because Korean has that too, Japanese as well. It's kind of a principle that pervades societies in that part of the world.
小さいベッドですね。
It is a small bed, isn't it? That's halfway. Maybe let me refill my coffee. Language learning needs. Using the tools of linguistics and linguistic knowledge. Straight.
Tenstrom. Kluk.
Boy.
Duma. Tenstrom.
Audio is a bit funny.
Dobrý člověk.
Dobry is good. Člověk. It's like the word for man, person.
Člověk.
In Russian. Člověk. Interesting cluster. Chla at the beginning of the word.
Dobrý člověk.
Don't have anything quite like that in English. So this is a good person. And I'm going to use keyboard action from now on.
Malý kluk.
Malý.
Malý.
Small boy is the meaning. Kluk is German. So speaking of Czech, that's what that was. What else we got today that we could do? Maybe some more Hindi. H-I, Hindi.
राज दौड़ रहा है.
दौड़ रहा है.
राज दौड़ रहा है.
Raj, name, is the subject. And then the other three words are a complex verb phrase. From the end, is, stay,
Raha.
running. Raj is running.
मैं तैर रहा हूँ.
I तैर रहा हूँ. I stay swimming. I am swimming.
पीटर पानी पर चल रहा है.
Peter, name. पानी पर चल रही है. Pani is the water. Par on. चल रहा है. He stays walking. Is walking on water.
वह लड़का स्कूल जा रहा है.
वह लड़का स्कूल जा रहा है. All right, the verb at the end. This is the word order here, similar to Japanese Korean verb final, or a verb complex in this case. जा रहा है. He stays going. School. To school. And the subject is these two. वह लड़का, that boy, is going to school.
राज अमेरिका से आ रहा है.
To today. Understood. Raj America se rather.
राज अमेरिका से आ रहा है.
आ रहा है. He is coming. So,
राज.
Again. Is coming from America. So, speaking of Korean, also, these are our books of puns for learners of Korean that we've got published. You can find them on our website and on Amazon.
वो बच्चा आज तैर रहा है.
Keep meaning to do this. I've got now both of them here. One of the nicest things about these books is their illustrations. Here's the first one that we put out, the one that's shown, lavishly illustrated throughout. So, especially suitable for younger learners. And then this one is our second, more recent book of all original puns. Also thoroughly illustrated by a local Dallas artist. Here they are. Please check them out. वह बच्चा, that child, आज तैर रहा है. Aj is a nice word. Today. तैर रहा है, he swims, is swimming. Today. Aj. Let me just mention. Hindi. The word is spelled with a final a, but it's just dropped. Aj, today. Today comes from Sanskrit adya. So this J consonant reflects the meeting of these two, da and ya. And that's the form in what we call somewhat imprecisely Sanskrit. That's just the old Indic language from which the modern ones developed. So about 2,000 years ago, that's what the form would have been.
राज अमेरिका से आ रहा है.
Raj America se aa raha hai. H-J Hindi. Raj, R-A-A-J. America se.
राज अमेरिका से आ रहा है.
America se. That's weird. Ka. It's not quite what I want. I want K with a long A vowel. Any, before you leave, Levi, any hints for how to get a ka to appear? Nope. Oh, that's interesting, though. An equals will give you the dot. That's good to know. My goodness. Huh? Just won't do it. How do I get long A, please? Click on the viram called halant in Hindi to delete the inherent vowel. Yeah. How do I get long A? Yeah, you'd think, but no. Oh, how cool. SX to make the first half of a consonant. Pretty cool. XX to prevent conjunct forms. I would like to have ka with a long vowel. I'm kind of stuck without it. So the trouble is you have vowel initial letters, or just vowels in their absolute forms, which I'm also not seeing here. There we go, on the right. Ka. Here's the button. That's inconvenient.
राज अमेरिका से आ रहा है.
Another one here. A, raha. Hey, weird. Why didn't it? Who cares? It's coming from America.
मेरा भाई सड़क पर दौड़ रहा है.
मेरा भाई सड़क पर दौड़ रहा है. Let's look to the verb first, always at the end. Stays running. Who? Mera bhai, my brother. And then sarak par, on the road. My brother is running on the road.
वो सड़क पर चल रहा है.
वो सड़क पर चल रहा है. He rode upon, stays running.
है.
He's running on the road. And I know it's male, not because of the form of
वो.
the pronoun, but
रहा.
because raha is marked masculine. Walking, chal, not dord. It's too zoomed in. Yeah, but shouldn't I be able to?
पीटर भारत से आ रहा है.
Was it America? Now it's doing it. Just a hiccup.
पीटर भारत से आ रहा है.
Peter Bharat se, from India, aa raha hai, is coming.
वो नहीं तैर रहा है.
वो नहीं, negative, तैर रहा है, is not staying swimming. He is not swimming.
मैं आज जा रहा हूँ.
मैं आज today जा रहा हूँ. I am coming.
वो सड़क पर चल रहा है.
Ja is going, always doing that. वह सड़क पर चल रहा है. He is walking सड़क पर on the road.
मैं आज जा रहा हूँ.
Ja is going. I am going today. There we go. Why are the difference in words Bharat and India? Well, that's a good question. This word India of English and European languages, if you look at this word Hindi, you might see some similarity. And another one in this family is Sindhu, which is the name of a river. We get the language name Sindhi from the same thing. So the Sindh River, I think we call it in English. Oops. Wikipedia will know that. Is where we get the name, and the ancient Greeks did too. It was on the western side of India, so closer for Alexander and his group, and then extended beyond that region to all of India. But Bharat was what the Sanskrit speakers called their country, which is named after a hero or a god, Bharat, I think. Here's the Sindh River in what's now Pakistan. So yes, different languages. Bharat was the classical Sanskrit name for it, and Sindhu is the name of this river in Pakistan, which gave also the name Hindu is related to this. Sindhu, you can see the Persian weakening, I think, of S to H. Maybe other speech communities do it too. Hindi and Hindu all go back to this river name. And with the loss of the consonant, H or S, becomes India. Iya is a common suffix to derive the names of places and other abstract groups. We have it in Italy, France, Germany. They all go back to Iya final forms. Let's go ahead and finish out this circle. How are we doing in the league? 4th place for another 50 points.
हम आ रहे हैं.
We are rahe,
रहे.
plural, and also plural.
हैं.
We are coming.
वे बच्चे खड़े हैं.
They, plural, bachche, children, khade hain. They are standing. The children stand.
मेरे दादा आज दौड़ रहे हैं.
Mere dada, my grandfather,
आज.
today, dor raha hai is running. My grandpa is running today. And note that adverb placement. Aj in the middle, and we prefer it at the end. My grandpa today is running works, but it's not as good as putting it after the verb.
मेरे पिता नहीं चल रहे हैं.
Mere pita, my father, chal nahi chal
रहे.
rahe hain. He does not stay walking. My father is not walking. And something question I'm pondering here is, when can we delete the he if it's in a negative? Sometimes you just have nahi without this H verb. My father is not walking. Subject, and then nahi nasalized. Chal rahe, plural for respect. Hain, also plural for respect. Could we leave out this hain is my question.
नेहा और उसके दोस्त जा रहे हैं.
So Neha and uske dost,
दोस्त.
her friend, ja rahe hain, they are going. Neha and her friend are going.
जूलिया और नेहा साथ में बैठे हैं.
Julia or Neha साथ में in togetherness. बैठे हैं,
बैठे.
sitting, बैठ. Julia and Neha are sitting together. so this two-word phrase, साथ में, means together.
आप आज तैर रहे हैं.
आप, you, आज, today,
रहे.
तैर
रहे.
रहे हैं. You are swimming today.
मेरे पिता और दादा आज तैर रहे हैं.
Okay. मेरे
मेरे पिता और दादा आज तैर रहे हैं.
da grandfather.
मेरे
Da,
पिता और दादा आज तैर रहे हैं.
rahe plural, हैं also plural. Capital M for the nasalizing dot.
मेरे पिता और दादा आज तैर रहे हैं.
They are swimming today.
वे जा रहे हैं.
वे जा रहे हैं. They plural are going. जा रहे हैं.
मेरे पिता सड़क पर चल रहे हैं.
मेरे पिता, my father, सड़क पर on the road, चल रहे हैं, is walking on the road.
नेहा और राज साथ आ रहे हैं.
नेहा और राज, नेहा and राज साथ आ रहे हैं. साथ together.
साथ.
Oh wait, Raj saat. No, just are coming together, I guess. So we don't have the may here. Saat on its own can mean together.
मेरे दादा नदी में खड़े हैं.
Mere dada, my grandfather. Nadi mein, in the river. Khade hai is standing. And this river word goes back to classical Sanskrit, unchanged. Nadi. Meaning the Hummer, which is such a nice meaning.
वे बच्चे खड़े हैं.
वे बच्चे, those children, खड़े हैं, are standing, and it wants present progressive. Will not accept anything else.
बच्चे खेल रहे हैं.
बच्चे खेल रहे हैं. What's this खेल?
खेल.
Playing. Children, or the children, are playing.
लड़के खेलते हैं.
लड़के, boys, खेलते हैं. Boys play.
वो क्या खेलती है?
वो क्या खेलती हैं? है.
क्या?
She, I know from this verb,
खेलती.
feminine, and kya here means what? What does she play?
वो देख रही है.
वो देख. What's देख? वह देख. She,
रही.
I know from rahi, she stays
देख.
watching. Huh. She is watching. Or seeing.
वो औरत देखती है.
वह औरत देखती है. Single noun phrase, our subject, that woman. देखती, she is watching. Or seeing, that doesn't work. Oh, it's the simpler one, simpler tense.
वो देख रही है. वो देख रही है.
रही है. She sees.
यह एक खेल है.
यह एक खेल है. It is a game.
खेल.
यह, this is our subject. एक खेल, a game. है is. This is a game.
पीटर खेल खेलता है.
पीटर खेल खेलता है. Peter plays a game.
तुम क्या देख रहे हो?
तुम, you, क्या देख रहे हो? What do you see? What are you seeing? Are you watching? His name, उसका नाम पीटर है. उसका, उसका नाम. I use a capital T for the retroflex. Peter है is Peter. उसका नाम पीटर है.
कौन देखता है?
देखता है. कौन meaning who? Who is watching? Who watches?
हम खेल नहीं देखते हैं.
खेल नहीं देखते हैं. We are not. Here's another negative one. It has the copula. That means we are not watching the game. We do not watch the game. Watch the game. Oops, wrong place. We do not watch the game. It's got nahi and hai together. Can we drop the hai?
वे क्या खेल रहे हैं?
They. Kya, what? What are they playing? What are they playing?
वो औरत देखती है.
वो औरत देखती है. That woman sees. Watches. It's spelled a little differently, but the sound is like the German word for clever, klug. That's going to be my mnemonic. Clever boy.
Hezký malý strom. Hezký malý strom. Hezký malý strom.
Mali, I remember the spelling. Mali.
Hezký malý strom.
Strum, pretty small tree. Hezký, pretty. Boy, kluk. Big, velký. Velký, long E. Kluk. Big person. Schla. Something big was velký. And let's just check the spelling for the word person. Člověk. With this. Thanks for sticking around. Let's wrap up this Hindi unit.
मेरे पास 2 बिल्लियां हैं.
मेरे पास 2 बिल्लियां हैं. Forget what this pass is. Mere paas.
पास.
Near me, in my vicinity. 2 billion hai are 2 cats. I have. Oh, okay. In my possession would be better.
पास.
Looks like I got it right though, literally. I think that should be accepted.
वे क्या करते हैं?
वे क्या करते? This is the verb to do. Karte hain. What are they doing? What do they do? Alright. Julia काम something hai. Karti. She does work. Kam is from karma. And this karati is the related verb.
तुम क्या कर रही हो?
क्या कर रही हो? What are you doing? This is the progressive one. Word for word, you.
तुम
What?
क्या कर
Doing, staying.
रही हो?
वो क्या करता है?
This is masculine from the verb, I can tell. He, क्या करता है? What is he doing? What does he do? Would be better.
हम काम कर रहे हैं.
हम काम कर रहे हैं. We do work.
जूलिया काम करती है.
Julia काम करती है. She works. Julia works. She does work.
हम काम कर रहे हैं.
काम कर रहे हैं. हम, we, काम, work, the noun, कर
हम काम कर रहे हैं.
रहे हैं. Oh, it should probably be plural there.
हम काम कर रहे हैं.
You're working.
मैं काम कर रहा हूँ.
मैं काम कर रहा हूँ. I am working.
आपके दोस्त के पास 3 सेब हैं.
आपके दोस्त, your friend or friends, their पास, in their possession, 3 सेब हैं, are 3 apples. Your friend, say, has 3 apples.
उसके पास एक घोड़ा है.
उसके पास एक घोड़ा है. There is a horse in your possession means उसके, his possession, his or her.
उसके.
He or she has 1 horse.
आमिर के पास क्या है?
आमिर के पास क्या है? What is in his possession? What does Amir have?
मेरे पास 2 बिल्लियां हैं.
मेरे पास, my possession, 2 बिल्लियां हैं. I have 2 cats.
वे क्या करते हैं?
वे क्या करते हैं? What are they doing? No, it's what do they do?
हम काम कर रहे हैं.
हम काम कर रहे हैं. We are working. Super. Alright, since Swedish is the one that we build, let's go back to that. $11.38, still 50 points. No, we're doing Swedish. Colors.
Jag dricker svart kaffe.
We have the English word swart, a bit old-fashioned, or swarthy, from this black root.
Svart.
German schwarz. I drink. Jag dricker svart kaffe. Black coffee. Cheers to that.
Vi äter vitt ris.
Vi äter vitt ris. We eat, or are eating, white rice.
Hästen är svart.
Horse is black. Hästen är svart.
Hon har en rosa klänning.
Hon har en rosa klänning. She has a pink dress. She loves you. Hon älskar dig. D-I-G.
Hon har på sig svarta handskar.
Skar. Hon har på sig svarta handskar. She is wearing black gloves, hand shoes.
Katterna är vita.
Katterna är vita. The cats, plural definite, are white.
Mannen har vita kläder.
Man has white clothes. Mannen har vita kläder.
Han har en vit hatt.
En vit hatt. He har a white hat. The woman wears a white dress. Kvinnan har på sig, she has upon herself, a white dress. En vite, I need to see the whole phrase, what suffix goes on here. Klänning. Let's give this a try. En vit would be better, I think. Klänning. Kvinnan har på sig en vit klänning. She has on a white dress. The wolf eats the black duck. Vargen. The wolf äter svartan ankan. Den svarta ankan. Right. So the definiteness in a phrase like this, adjective plus noun, is marked in 2 places. We get the article in front, which you don't have if it's just a noun. So the double article is circumfixing the whole phrase. Roughly speaking. The wolf, vargen. Think of Tolkien's vargs. That's this word, vargen. And orc is from the Irish word for pig. Vargen äter den svarta ankan. So definite, black, duck, definite. That's a third of it.
Männen har gula byxor.
Yellow, right?
Gula.
The man, definite, singular, has yellow trousers, pants. Männen is plural, not mannen, männen.
En orange apelsin.
Orange, apelsin. An orange. So orange for the color and apelsin for the
Apelsin.
fruit.
Männen har gula byxor.
Männen, plural with umlaut. Männen har gula byxor. Yellow pants.
Jordgubben är röd.
Jordgubben är röd. The strawberry, singular, is red.
Han älskar färger.
Färger. Han älskar. He loves. Färger is related to German Farben, colors. Indefinite plural.
Kjolen är röd och vit.
Kjolen. That's the, what is it? What's the kjol? Skirt? Kjolen är röd och vit. The skirt is red and white.
Hennes fåglar är blåa.
Hennes fåglar är blåa. This is her.
Hennes.
Her birds are blue.
Handskarna är gula.
Handskarna är gula.
Handskarna är gula.
You have
Handskarna.
a case like this, R before another consonant. If it's a dental consonant, it's going to retroflex it. Handskarna är gula. This is plural definite. The gloves, the hand shoes, are yellow.
De gula tallrikarna.
It's cool how they lined up.
De gula tallrikarna.
The yellow plates. De gula tallrikarna.
Vi har blå färg.
Vi har blå färg. We have a blue color. Vi har blå färg. Blue paint. As in German, to Farbe. Die Farbe means color abstractly or paint.
Männen har gula byxor.
Männen har gula byxor. The men, plural, have yellow pants.
Hon har på sig en lila klänning.
Hon har på sig en lila klänning. She's wearing a purple dress. So indefinite gets an N in front, whether there's an adjective or not. Just numeral 1 and the noun.
Gyllene äpplen.
Gyllene äpplen. This is, it looks like plural definite. Then why would there not be an determiner in front? Maybe this is just yellow apples.
Äpplen.
Indefinite. Golden. Oh.
En lila bok.
A purple book. En lila bok. En bok. Bok.
Elefanten är grå.
The elephant is gray.
En brun björn.
En brun björn. A brown bear.
Kvinnorna läser tidningar.
The women, okay, kvinnorna läser tidningar. The women, that one's definite, read, and this one's indefinite, newspapers. En grå varg. Grey wolf. Gråt would be the neuter form. Maybe this one's plural? I'm not sure.
Hans skjorta är färgglad.
Färgglad, colorful. Glad with color. Hans skjorta, his shirt. Skjorta is colorful.
Pojken tycker om gröna äpplen.
Pojken tycker om gröna äpplen. The boy thinks about, meaning he likes, gröna äpplen. Green apples, indefinite.
En brun björn.
En brun björn. A brown bear.
Pojken tycker om gröna äpplen.
Boy likes green apples. Pojken tycker om gröna äpplen.
Gyllene äpplen.
Golden apples. Indefinite. Let's do some Spanish. Haven't touched that in quite a bit. The computer.
El profesor.
El profesor.
La medicina.
La medicina.
La computadora.
Computadora. El profesor.
El profesor.
El profesor.
Una universidad importante.
Noun first in Spanish, most of the time. Unimportant, but adjective first in English. Medicine.
La medicina.
Mi profesor de medicina es muy importante en mi universidad y en el hospital.
Tú lees mucho.
Do you read a lot? Tú lees mucho.
Un café con azúcar.
Un café con azúcar. Coffee with sugar.
Tú escribes mucho.
Tú escribes mucho. Do you write a lot? Do you read in Spanish? Tú lees en español. Tú estudias la medicina. Tú estudias medicina. Good. To use the same keyboard layout for all languages. Well, as much as I can, I use this website, Lexilogos. Let's go to the main page. Oh, not that one. Multilingual Keyboards here. This has all of the major world languages. And what it does that's really helpful is, for as much as it can, you can type using the keyboard keys and it'll convert. So there's one for Spanish too, not much to it. Let's take a look at it. You can click them as buttons here, and often if you use an equal sign after the basic letter, it'll give you the modified form, right? So to get ñ, for example, type n equals. If you type u equals, you get the accented, and another equals gives you the diaresis. Great question. Keyboard layout. I hope that answers. And then for looking up Chinese characters, there's this great website. If you back, well, I'll just put it in again. I already put it in the chat once. I use it for Chinese and Japanese, because Japanese also uses Chinese characters to write with, known as kanji. Pretty much all other languages, this one will help you out. And for some of them, Duolingo also gives you the special ones that you can click below. That's what I use here in this case. Tu, that one has a special character, the accented U. Estudias doesn't have any. Medicina. Great. And that's that. Alright, maybe some more Japanese. Speaking of.
Katasumi.
What's this? I don't know what katasumi is. Let me get the Japanese one right here. Now there's two phonetic scripts for Japanese, and this one is handy. You use lowercase for one and uppercase for the other. So KA gives you katakana, lowercase here, ka. Ta, su, mi is hiragana. This is a word I don't know. Corner. Does this have a Chinese reading too? No, just a Japanese word. This second one, here read sumi, means like counterpart.
Sumi.
Sumi there. Let's see what it is on its own in Japanese. Corner or nook. In Chinese, meaning like, also corner, nook, remote place, edge, border. Oh, I'm thinking of a different radical. I'm thinking of this one. It's going to be OW. LB, I guess. There. This one means like partner or counterpart. Counterpartner. Definitions. Idle, couple, pair, even. Accidentally, right? Or. What is just the phonetic component here? This one. Is it unclear? Shuowen, the oldest dictionary in the world of the Chinese language, considers it to be an ideogrammatic compound. Head of a ghost and trample a kind of monkey. Similar to scorpion. Alright, we'll see how to recall kanji here, most likely in a few minutes.
Sumi.
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 布団は小さいです。布団は小さいです。布団。
The cloth round is what it means. The futon topic. 小さいです is small.
あの隅には本棚があります。
あの隅に in that corner. あの隅には a stacking up of particles. As for in that corner.
本棚。
本棚があります。There is a bookshelf in that corner.
片隅。
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 布団は長いです。
The futon is long. 布団は長いです。So the ones with the curved shapes, those are phonetic characters, and the rest of them are Chinese in origin, kanji.
布団は片隅にあります。
片隅に in the corner, it exists. The futon is in the corner. 片隅。
片隅。
隅。
隅。
片隅。
片隅。
本棚。
本棚。
長い。
長い。
布団。
布団。
隅。
隅。
長い。
長い。
右。
右。
隅。
隅。
片隅。
片隅。
布団。
布団。そのテーブルは長いです。
Alright. Wa marks our topic. そのテーブル, that table by you. 長いです is long.
布団は片隅にあります。
Alright, here we're gonna call up those kanji. Now, the second one there, for 布団, is a little tricky because it's not used in Chinese. The fu, though, is KLB, cloth. Now, let's try to get it. Some of them it has. It's going to be WDI. No. So we need the full form, which is WJJI. No? WJWI, maybe. Huh. Oh, it's WIJ. No? Okay, there's another input system that's phonetically based. I know in Chinese, the one I'm looking for is pronounced tuan. There it is. That's the traditional form. It would be WJII. WJII. There it is. This is the graphic input, where it's based on the shape of the character, broken down into 24 basic shapes. Okay, so we need this one, and I'm going to look up the Japanese form of it in Wiktionary. This one's simplified this way in China and this way in Japan. Oh, phooey. That's futon.
布団は片隅にあります。
片隅 in the corner. Kata is L, and then LMN, right? LML. There it is. Kata, smi, NLWLB, ni arimasu is all written phonetically.
布団は片隅にあります。
Wa katasumi ni arimasu. So that's the key. These two are the keyboards that I use primarily to look up Japanese. This one for Chinese characters, kanji, C-A-N-G-J-I-E, and then the Lexi logos for the phonetic ones. 布団は片隅にあります。
この本は長いです。
この本は長いです。As for this book, topic, 長いです。It is long.
ベッドは片隅にあります。
ベッドは as for the bed, 片隅に in the corner it is. Operating system on the PC. It seems weird that one has to use a website for language input. Right. On my personal PC I have. This one actually belongs to the school and I have not bothered with it. I've never actually done it on a Windows device. But there's a great advantage for my purposes to doing it this way. My aim is to show you how you can do the things I'm doing. And so this is a nice handy workaround if you don't want to trouble with installing something. Anyone can use it if you have internet access and a browser. And it also predicts. This is a really great teaching tool, I think, for building up, recognizing, inputting Chinese characters. If you type any string of letters, this particular thing gives you lots of options that are written that way. So that would all be lost if I just used the PC system. It's a perfectly good question, though. Here, showing us a great digital, electronic way of getting Chinese characters, getting our digital hands on them. For instance, when I was in college, I mostly didn't have my own device. I would use, I would use the computers in the libraries. And so if you're in that type of situation, this is a really handy way to get those characters.
古い、
古い. But
新しい、
it is pretty odd and roundabout, but I've got my reasons for doing it that way. 新しい means new. To be new.
新しい、低い、
低い means low. Television.
外、
Soto, outside.
左、
左 left.
テレビ、
テレビ.
低い、
低い. Grondilu.
低い、
低い low
低い
ground.
彼のベッドは低いです。
彼の his bed topic は is low 低いです。
ベッドは新しいですか？
ベッドは新しいですか？ Is the bed new? Hello there. Trying to learn Chinese, but I think stick with Duolingo's word bank. Yeah, it's a little bit easier than grabbing them yourself, but I really recommend inputting them this way because it gives you that extra practice and the more workout, you can get really fast at it. And another cool thing, once you've mastered this basic Cangjia system, if you go to this green one, let's do some Chinese next. There's an express means of inputting. I'll show you that. So let me wrap up this unit here. Beddo wa atarashii desu ka? We did that. Furui is old.
古い、古いテレビです。
Furui, here modifying a following noun. It is, we gotta supply, an old TV. Furui terebi desu. Welcome everyone. This is, I think, as many as we've had at one time on the stream. I'm glad you're all here. Please give me your requests for what you want. I'm going to do Chinese next. Add it to the list. And we'll see some various input methods here. Shikui, low down, is this one. Shikui,
低い、
furui,
古い、
yoko,
横、
arashii,
新しい、
sumi,
隅、
sumi, downstep.
あのテレビは新しいです。
Here it's noun first, and the adjective is part of the comments section of the of the sentence. Topic and comment is the profound division in any sentence, although there's not always going to be both of them. All right, our topic here, that TV over there. Atarashii desu is new. Futon.
布団、
Atarashii.
新しい、
Furui.
古い、
It's new and old. Hidari left.
左、
Shikui low.
低い、
What was I going to say? Oh, note how the FU syllable is sounded. It's a F with a two-lip fricative.
この布団は新しいです。
No teeth involved. Here again.
布団、
Futon. Futon. And the U sort of drops out because the voiceless T follows. So not futon, but futon.
この布団は新しいです。
This futon. Atarashii desu is new.
ベッドは古いです。
Beddo wa, we need one kanji, furui. It's a pretty simple one. Furu, meaning old, J on top, R on the bottom. So look how it puts together. J is this 10 shape, the cross, and the mouth shape, R. Those are the two pieces. You just input them in that order. There you go. You could also, with this input device, mean two distinct characters, but here I want this one. And that's the kanji. Gonna plop it down here.
ベッドは古いです。
Beddo. B-E. Q for the small tsu. D-O. Now lowercase for hiragana. Beddo wa furui desu. The bed is old.
その椅子は低いです。
Sono isu wa topic. That chair by you. Hikui desu is low.
テレビは片隅にあります。
Favorite language to learn? It's tough. I mean, I've never met a language that I didn't enjoy learning. Is the unfortunate situation I'm in. I love them all. But I really like the added challenge of getting and remembering those kanji for Japanese and Chinese, so they're probably up there. And I'm weird. I like a real tricky one. Actually, these days I've really been enjoying Irish a lot because it's so hard and unlike what I'm used to.
テレビは片隅にあります。
So longer term, I'd say Chinese and Japanese would be my favorite, and the last few months, Irish. But I really like all of them. On Duolingo, I think there's about 30 some available.
テレビは片隅にあります。
Arimasu, verb of existence. The topic is the TV. Terebi wa in the corner. Karasumi. TX, the TV is in the corner. Shibu. Nope, still showing. So, thanks for stopping by. The bed. Beddo wa furui desu. Beddo wa furui desu. His bed. Kare no beddo wa hikui desu. Just need one kanji. Hikui. It's going to be O H V P. Desho. Too much there. O for the person. H slanting. V P. Desho? Nope, not working. Oh, it needs to be ending on I. OH. VI? No, PI. PM. OHPM. For the low kanji. And it's his bed. Kare no, lowercase. Capital BEQDO. Beddo. Wa, topic. Hikui desu. Hikui desu. Indonesian, yeah, so far, what I've done with Indonesian, it is quite easy. You don't see a lot of changes in the forms of words, just one form for your noun, one for your verbs. And the word order is pretty constant. That makes it nice and fun. And also the script is really, it corresponds quite closely to the sound. There's no weirdness in the spelling for Indonesian. If you're new to language learning, a language like that, like Indonesian, is a good place to start. You don't get as discouraged as with other things. Alright, I want to switch now to Chinese and show you some different ways of finding these characters. So we had that phonetic one. Let me get it up here again. It's like a sister website to this one. So I think of this graphic input and the phonetic input as like your left and right hand. You can do the same task, but coming at it different directions. This one has a nice URL for the phonetic. It's what we call a portmanteau. It's a smushing of the words pinyin, the writing system, and input. That's my phonetic lookup, and this one is cangjie for the graphic input. I'll use a bit of each here for this lesson. Okay, market is our topic.
超
Chao means like super, to surpass.
是
Shi, market, or city. Shi,
是果
fruit. Fruit, 水果,
水果
water fruit. Chao,
超
surpass, exceed.
请问超市在哪里？
请问, excuse me, may I ask? 超市, supermarket. 在哪里 is where. Where is the supermarket? 果
果
是
西
西
超
东西
东西
果
果。我的家人很喜欢吃水果。
我的家人 That's our topic. 很喜欢吃水果. They really like to eat fruit. My family likes eating fruit. 西
是
超
东西果。我想在超市买水果。
我想在超市买水果。To buy fruit is the last phrase. Be in the supermarket. And I want to. We're going to put buy next, the buy phrase next. I want to buy fruit, and then the location at the end, at the supermarket. And in Chinese, it's just verb phrases in series. Be at the supermarket is a verb phrase, verb object. Buy fruit is also a verb object phrase.
我的家人很喜欢吃水果。
Now we're going to input. I can just, if I know the pinyin system well, which you absolutely have got to learn early on, then just associate the sounds with those spellings, and you can find these characters.
我的家人很喜欢吃水果。
We can input more than one syllable at a time too. It's really nice about this. 我的家人. Right? Just, there's some trickiness to the spelling system, but it's easily learned. 我的家人 is this one. And then you have to know the characters well enough to recognize them. Input the sound in this red system, and it'll give you options, and also make predictions for what comes next.
我的家人很喜欢吃水果。
很喜欢吃水果. That's too much. So 吃, that's the most frequent one, meaning eat, and then 水果, this compound for fruit. Now, this one has to be replaced. We click the simplify button down here. That's what Duolingo uses.
我的家人很喜欢吃水果。
That's a real basic way to input. I used this one for many, many years whenever I wasn't on my own device. Quite good.
这里的水果很便宜。
So, 水果 is the head noun of the topic, and everything else points up to that. The fruit belonging to here, to this place. You could say the fruit here in English. 很便宜 is very cheap. Is cheap. The fruit here is cheap.
他们在超市买东西。
Series of verb object phrases. 买东西 to buy things, go shopping.
在
超市 be at the supermarket. 他们 they are shopping at the supermarket. So English prefers to put the location phrase at the end. Isn't there an app with which you could draw the Chinese characters directly on screen and send it as keyboard input or something? That would be convenient. Well, I do know of at least there's a couple dictionaries where you can write the characters, but I've never done it as my input system with a mouse. You can get it on an iPad and an iPhone quite easily, that you just input the characters by hand. That's a lot of fun. Let me just look up hand-drawn Chinese input. See what there is. qhanzi.com. Let's try that for the next time we need to input something. Alright, that's the end of that one, unfortunately. So let's go to this and see how it works. Let's do 东西, meaning things. Oh yeah, I kind of like this suggestion. Thank you for asking. Hey, Levi's back. Welcome, Levi. We are checking out a new handwritten character input method. So it's got it, and then it spits it out into this text box. I like how it colors them to a rainbowgram. Alright, and in this chat here, here's this new input that we're trying out. It might be a bit slower, but it's still a useful learning tool. We get to practice writing them stroke by stroke. 东西, and now clear. 西, and unfortunately this one doesn't predict the next part. But I really like this. I might use it in class for writing because it preserves the colors. I wish I knew the logic of the order of the colors. But then it gives you the most likely options. You can just click on those to put them in your text field. Pretty super. And also offers Japanese. Wow. Retained ITSM. Okay. Okay, but then it gives us Japanese options. So let's look at that don one. Subete kesu. Let's delete. So to get the one in futon, outer enclosure, nice and big. And then it's the inch character inside. And close it. And there it is. I like this. qhanzi.com. I'm glad you asked. Grondilu. But yeah, a little quicker maybe to use those other keyboards. Let's just add it to the list. So, in fact, give me just a minute, I'll be right back. Special accented letter E. Cool, okay, a little challenging. I think I'm going to back up and review some earlier units. Oh yeah, welcome. Let's see, what do we got here? Prime loot, yeah. Okay. Hi everyone. What languages you are most interested in here? And bye. Cool, 8 days. So this is the weekend. Well, it's Monday now, but it's been incredibly cold here. I don't need to tell you. If you're watching this live, you know. If you're in the US, if you're watching this later on YouTube, that's when this is taken place. Yeah. So, the reason we're back at Chinese is to sort of talk about and compare different input systems. And on this one, we can use the express input one. That would be of some. Yes, thank you very much.
平
Ping is used to write the word apple. Gua
瓜给
Gay means to give. Apple. 苹果
苹果
给
给他不给我钱，
他不给我钱。He not
不
give me money. He doesn't give me money.
一个西瓜多少钱？
一个西瓜 one melon, one watermelon. 多少钱 how much money? How much is... This one doesn't have a verb, really.
钱
We need one. How much is one watermelon? 平 is this one?
平
东西
东西
超
超
给
给
平
平
花
瓜这些苹果多少钱？
这些苹果 these few apples 多少钱 how much money how much are these apples 给
给
是
是
果
果
花
瓶
瓶 Okay, here's that second Korean book.
给我3个苹果
给我 give me 3个
个
3 individual apples. 3 apples.
1个西瓜多少钱
So here we can see the express input system. It's going to be with this green button. Same principles as the other graphic one we were looking at, but much quicker.
1个西瓜多少钱
It's good to go in 2 character chunks. 一个 E is just 1 stroke. It's an M. G starts with a W, ends with R. And there, let's see, 一个. Nope. Alright, let me just go piece by piece. G, oh, that's not the right. It's all wrong. First one in G is O. The last one is R. There it is. 一个. So, instead of having a 5 keystroke max for each character, this one reduces it to 2. Just the first component and the last of each would be how you enter. So if it's a 2-character phrase, you're looking at a maximum of 4 keystrokes to get it. How do you deal with Vietnamese? This is an excellent question. The Lexilogos one is really helpful because it gives you 2 ways to do them. It gives you the whole grid of possible combinations of vowel sign and tone marks, accents, uppercase and lowercase, and also that special D. And it lets you use a combination of equal signs. So I've typed, let me do it again, type A, oh, this backspace, okay, that's what I want. 1 equals gives you that falling sign. A second equals makes it a rising tone. A third gives you the dot below. A fourth equals gives you the tilde, and this gives you that coat hanger shape, and then you're back to the starting point. And you can also, no, not for A, but for O. Levi, do you remember what it was? There's some cases where numbers are used for tones. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I1. Nope. With O and U, maybe there. Nope. You've also got that hook shape. How do you get that? Is it an apostrophe? U apostrophe. Nope. These guys. Oh, maybe if I do U equals 1. No dice. Type a number for the tone. Oh, it's just not 1. 1 is not one of them. A2 gives you that. So a few ways to get the tone marks with a series of equals or just A3. Numbers greater than 1 to get them. They are a bit of a pain. Duolingo is nice in that it disregards it. If you just type the basic letters, it'll accept your answer. But ideally you want to recognize the tones. And my advice there is to sort of make up a story to distinguish the words. Like ka with no tone mark means mug, but with a rising tone, ka, it means fish. So picture that this is like the fish's tail or something, a fin of the fish sticking up. Make up a little story to help it stick in your mind. Great question on Vietnamese thing. Tone 1 is unmarked. Yeah, so a 1 is a meaningless addition.
1个西瓜多少钱
That's what we're doing. We're getting this sentence. 1 watermelon, how much money? 西瓜, my first stroke there. M, and the last is W. MW. 瓜 is HI, I think. No. Boy. 西瓜. Is HO. O is the last stroke on melon. 一个西瓜多少? 多 NI. 少 is FH. So 4 keystrokes for these compounds both written with this string of keys. 多少钱 predicted. And now we're not done. We're going to simplify. And that's what we grab. So 2, 4, 7 characters. It's a max of 14 keystrokes to get them. We'll try to do some more.
一天一个苹果，医生不找我。
But since you asked about Vietnamese, I think if you do it on an iPhone, if you set up Vietnamese as a language, if you just type the basic letters of a word, it'll recognize it and give you as an option the words with the tone marks. 一天 one day, 一个苹果 one apple, 医生不找我 that rhymes nicely. Doctor does not look for me. That's that old slogan, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. The Chinese doesn't literally mean that.
我的妈妈最喜欢吃西瓜。
我的妈妈 my mother 最喜欢 likes the most 吃西瓜 eating watermelons likes eating watermelons. That's her favorite. Likes it the most.
请给我5个西瓜。
请给我一天 means one day. The first character, E. I wonder how you were able to get it. E is 1, the numeral, and 天 means sky, heaven, all that.
请给我5个西瓜。
Please give me 5 watermelons. Etienne doesn't really, it's not, I wouldn't call it a saying because it doesn't convey anything. It's just a phrase with a counting, with a numeral and a unit. 1 day. You could also have 2天 2 days, 3天 3 days. Any numeral in Chinese is going to have a kind of unit with it. And that's what that structure is. So it's just specifying a length of time, 24-hour period, 1 day. Let's see some more.
蔬
This is the word in the word for vegetable. This 蔬
鲜
xian like fresh. 蔬
蔬
veggie.
蛋
Dan for egg.
鸡
Ji means chicken.
鸡
Got the bird on the right. Vegetables 蔬菜
蔬菜
egg. 蛋鸡蛋
蛋蛋，这些水果不太新鲜。
这些水果 topic, these fruits. You know it's plural from this 些 unit word. 不太新鲜 are not too fresh. Or not very, we can say. Aren't very fresh. 鲜
鲜
蛋
蛋
鸡
鸡
chicken 是
是
city market 鲜
鲜
fresh
蔬
in the word for vegetable.
我们要买一些鸡蛋。
我们要买一些鸡蛋。我们 is the topic. We 要 want 买 to buy. 一些鸡蛋 a few eggs. This too 一些 is a unit and a counter. 1 few. 鲜
鲜鸡
果
果蔬
蛋
蛋，这些鸡蛋不新鲜。
这些鸡蛋 topic, these few eggs, these chicken eggs 不新鲜 are not fresh.
那个西瓜很新鲜。
All right, input time. 那个西瓜那个 is a common collocation. That one. First stroke for na is S and the last is L. All right, I need to refresh. It does this sometimes. It forgets what this is here to do. 那个 S-L. Ge is written with O-R. There it is. 那个
那个西瓜很新鲜。
西瓜 is the watermelon. It's M-W for 西瓜 is H-O. 西瓜很. The first component is an H stroke, ends with V, 很. There it pops up. So you just, the first thing and the last thing that is input finds you the character.
那个西瓜很新鲜。
很新鲜, very fresh. 新 starts with Y, ends with L. 鲜 starts with N, ends with a Q. 新鲜 is that second one. And we got to simplify this. So what do you think, Levi? Have you ever used the green one, the express 仓颉?
你喜欢什么蔬菜？
你喜欢什么蔬菜？那个西瓜很新鲜。Very good. You got it. So you know a bit of Chinese. That's wonderful.
"你喜欢什么蔬菜？
Word order in Chinese. It's the basic declarative. You like what vegetable? We put the questiony part at the beginning in English. What vegetable or which vegetable? Do you like? Could be plural too. Do you like? The rest of the sentence follows.
孩子不喜欢吃蔬菜。
孩子 our topic. Child or children. 不喜欢 don't like. 吃蔬菜 eating vegetables. And in Chinese, there's no difference between a participle eating or the verb eat, eats. I guess it's time to learn it. Well, since you know 仓颉, the basic system, this is real easy. Just keep the two straight. The green one is the two-stroke max, and that burnt orange one is the basic up to 5 strokes. Really, you already have the means to do it. Just takes a bit of quick abbreviating in your mind. We want to buy some eggs. Okay, we is 我们, starts with H, ends with I. 们 starts with O, ends with N. There it is, 我们. These other 2, 3, and 4 have the same first and last strokes in this breakdown, in the way this system works. We want 我们要, that's MV, 要, to buy some eggs. 买 is WC. All of these characters start with a W, end with a C. We want this one. 一些, E, and then 些 starts with a Y, ends with M. There it is. 鸡蛋, chicken, eggs. Alright, the traditional form for the chicken has a B, ends with G. There it is. And dan has, oh dear, can't quite see it in my mind. I think it has an N on top and an I on the bottom. 鸡蛋, yep. And we got to simplify this. Just one click away. A lot of them change quite a bit here in this example. But 2, 4, 6, 8 strokes in 8 characters, a maximum of 16 strokes. This one is just a 1-stroke character, so it's not even that many. Right, Chinese pretty quickly. 我们要买一些鸡蛋. Nailed it. That's what it was. I want to buy. It's going to start similarly, not 我们, but please tell me, GAB, how you would do this one. I. So one great thing, those of you new to Chinese, one great thing you can appreciate is that these troublesome little words like to and the plural marker, Chinese doesn't have any of that. It just says, I want, buy, vegetable, and fruit. And sometimes you can even leave out the and. 我要买, 我, H-I, wrong one, H-I also writes the, but we want this one, 我要, M-V, 买, W-C. I want to buy just vegetables. 蔬菜. Shu begins with T. Alright, I'm gonna look it up phonetically. I can't quite picture that character in my mind. So, this red input system. Oh, good, it keeps it. That's really nice. Whatever is on your, yeah. 蔬菜和水果. Very good. 我想, yeah, you can use 想, I intend to. But I'm going to use 要 here for want to. Either one works. 蔬菜. 蔬菜. There it is. So it would be T-U, I think. Let's go back. T-U-T-D is 蔬菜, vegetables, that second one. 和, H-R, 水果, E-W-O. WD. That's the same in Basic and Express. 仓颉 simplify. 我要买蔬菜和水果。我要买。Or we could say 想 just like you recommended. And it wants 和 for and. So there's no inflection either. I want, you want, he wants, all going to be the same form of the verb. That part of the grammar, pretty easy. Challenge lies elsewhere in Chinese. Let's keep going.
袋
Dai is a pocket.
米
Mi, rice. Dai.
袋包
Bao, either to wrap, verb, or a noun package.
糖
Tang is sugar. Bao,
包
wrap package. Tang,
糖水果
水果
面包、
面包
糖
bread
水果
水果
糖、
糖
面包、
面包糖 sugar is
糖
and this sha is used in the Korean word for sugar. Is that right? No, maybe not. What is it? Soltang. Oh no, it's snow and then this sugar. Sorry, this is used in the Korean word for apple, however. This sa.
哪个包是你的？
哪个包是你的? I guess the topic would be which package or which bag, which package 是你的 is yours. Which bag is yours?
他们在超市买米吗？
他们在超市买米吗? Are they buying? Are they at the supermarket buying rice? People say, are they buying rice at the supermarket? 米
米
我的朋友想要买一袋苹果。
我的朋友想要 a two-syllable verb for wanting 买一袋 one sack of 苹果 apples. 我的朋友 my friend or friends 想要 they think of and want to buy 买 a sack of apples. A bag of apples. Everything's a bag. 袋 is a bag.
袋
is rice.
米蛋
包
包
is also a bag.
糖
请帮我买一袋糖。
请帮我买一袋糖. Please help me buy. And this is that pivot construction. 我 is simultaneously the object of the preceding verb and subject of the following verb phrase. Help me buy a bag. We need this word of in English. We don't say one bag sugar, but a bag of sugar. 包
包
西 west
糖袋
pocket or bag 米
米这个是米吗？
这个是米吗? Is this rice? Question. Yes, no question.
我想买一包米。
All right. Input time. Let's use the hand-drawn one. 我 and we're going to go back to let's just do simplified. Clear. 清除一切 delete all.
我想买一包米。
我想 oh, I don't want that one. 想 the tree first and the I. And now the heart below. 想买 here's the simplified form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6买
我想买一包米。
一包一 one. Oops, not there. Oh my goodness. 我想买一 clear. 包一二三四五. Right, it's a bit of a challenge. What melon did they have before? The non-Western one, I suppose. 包
我想买一包米。
米 a bag of rice. 一二三四五六米. I want to buy a bag of rice. Don't have to convert because it's already in the simplified shape.
请给我一包苹果。
请给我一包苹果. Please give me one or a bag of apples.
你想吃面包吗？
你想吃面包吗？ Do you want to eat bread? That's an excellent question. It's one of the weirder abbreviations. Why does this have a head in it? But if we compare those
哪
characters...
个包是你的？
Oh yeah, let me set this aside for the moment. So this... 一二三 back step. Okay, you can undo the last stroke there with that second button. This is the simplification of the head, 头, and the the traditional one has the bean on the left, phonetic, and then this old character for a head on the right. So one's for sound, one's for meaning. That's the old 头, which is simplified this way. Now, where was I going? Okay, so look at the right-hand component. I'm just going to circle it. This part, for the head, is kind of similar to the bottom in my. It's got the net on top, and then the cowrie shell below. So it's not exactly the same, but it has a few strokes in common. And then this one is simplified. There's to buy the traditional shape, and so that net is now just indicated with that one stroke. And then for the shelly thing below it, cowrie, we substitute the head. I don't really know the exact reason. I think a lot of these simplified forms go back to just common practice, whatever had currency among writers of Chinese. Not that one. Writers of Chinese. It's my best guess. They do have some similar components, these two, mai and tou. What are we doing? 哪个包是你的? This is the question asking word. Which bag is yours?
我的朋友想要买一袋苹果。
我的朋友想要买一袋苹果. My friend, topic, wants to buy a bag of apples. What next? Maybe some Spanish for a bit. Let me know what you are most interested in. I'm here doing all of what's on Duolingo bit by bit. And whatever there's most interested in, I'm happy to switch to. People is our next topic. United States. Los Estados Unidos.
Los Estados.
China.
China. Sara es americana.
Sara. S, that's the being that is permanent. And then American female adjective form. Spain. España.
España. Él es americano.
Él es americano. Is he? We invert in English. Put the verb first in a yes-no question. Is he American?
Me llamo José.
Llamo José. My name, or I am called, José.
¿Eres de Francia?
Eres, are you, de, from France. Here's that, we can see the ya suffix
Francia.
preserved in Spanish. We've leveled it in English. is Juan from Spain. Es Juan de España. Yeah. The girl is American. Niña es, she's permanently that way, Americana. How many languages do I know? Let's say 5 or 6 that I speak pretty well enough to teach. And I dabble in several dozen others. On Duolingo, I'm currently learning these 30 plus. I wouldn't say, not near knowing most of them. But yeah, I've got more or less familiarity with, 10, 12-ish. And just kind of dabbling in the rest. And then there's others, of course, outside the ones on Duolingo that I've spent some time with, such as Sanskrit and like older forms of Chinese, particularly, and a few others. So, put briefly, know 5 or 6 pretty well, and a dozen or so to varying degrees. El estudiante.
El estudiante. ¿De dónde eres?
¿Dónde eres? This is that permanent be. Where are you from? That's the thing that's not going to change. You'll always be from your hometown.
Marco y yo.
Marco and I.
Mi nombre es Carmen.
Mi nombre, my name. Es, also permanent, is Carmen. Means song. Mi nombre es John. Yo soy Marco. ¿De dónde eres, John? Works much better than no, a salad with tomato, please.
Yo vivo en Australia.
Yo vivo, I live, and is in Australia.
Yo vivo en California.
Yo vivo en California. You and he, tú. Y, él, both accented. Antonio es, he is permanently, estudiante. Maybe not permanently, but lasting. México.
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 María es mexicana.
Maria is Mexican.
Soy de Cuba.
Soy de Cuba. I am from Cuba.
En el autobús.
En el autobús. On the bus.
Yo soy cubana.
Yo soy cubana. I am Cuban. And it's really confusing. I wish Duolingo didn't do this. If the speaker's talking about themselves and the form is feminine, I want to hear a feminine voice because it's just going to confuse beginners.
Yo soy cubana.
¿El niño es cubano?
It's the child, the boy, Cuban. Me llamo Marcelo y soy cubano. I am Cuban.
Yo soy mexicano.
There too. Tisk, tisk. I am Mexican. He is interesting. Él es interesante. Interesante. México. Chico es interesante. This adjective is the same form for masculine and feminine. Maybe some more Japanese before we wrap it up. Ooh, it's the longest stream so far. What do you think, Levi? What do you want to see before we wrap it up today? Refrigerator. Reizouko is the fridge.
ベッド、
Beddo.
鏡、
Kagami.
冷蔵庫、
Reizouko. Mirror.
鏡、
Kagami. Swahili, you got it.
鏡は新しいです。
Kagami wa. As for the mirror, atarashii desu is new. Furui, old.
古い、
Kagami, mirror.
鏡、
Reizouko.
冷蔵庫、
Reizouko.
隣、
Shikui.
低い、布団は鏡の下にあります。
A lot going on. Arimasu. Exists. Shita ni, at the bottom of something.
は、
Kagami no shita. below the mirror. And what are we talking about? Our topic with wa, the futon. Futon. Futon is below the mirror. 低い。
低い。
上。
上。
鏡。
鏡。
冷蔵庫。
冷蔵庫。
本棚。
本棚。
鏡は古いです。
The mirror is old.
この鏡は高いですか？
この鏡は Let's go back to the basic signs yet. Kagami. We need, oh, that's two of them. The mirror one is going to be written with gold. That's letter C. YTU. Kagami wa
この鏡は高いですか？
高いですか? Is it expensive? YRBR for the expensive kanji. Alright. この鏡は高いですか? Is this mirror expensive?
この冷蔵庫は古いです。
この冷蔵庫は古いです。This fridge is old.
この鏡は高いですか？
この鏡は as for this mirror, is it expensive?
新しい冷蔵庫です。
新しい冷蔵庫です。It is a new fridge.
あの冷蔵庫は新しいです。
That fridge is new. So in both languages, different word orders. The adjective new can be either part of the noun phrase or it can be the comment on it. Voila. Geek Swahili. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it's been a minute since we did Swahili. So let's review greetings. Today is Leo. How is it? Habari za Leo. Or ya Leo. Gioni. Is that evening? Good morning. Asabuhi. Asubuhi.
Habari za usiku Rehema.
Usiku, how was your home?
Usiku.
How was your night? Greeting. Rehema is a name. How was your afternoon? Habari za mchana. Rehema.
Habari za mchana Emilian.
How was the afternoon? Emilian. Emilian. A night. Usiku.
Habari za usiku Rehema.
How is your night? Rehema. Cool. Let's look at greetings too. Later, sister. Halafu dada. Baadaye dada. All right. I respect you. Oh my goodness. Good guess. Shikamo. Let's look at Swahili. Shikamo. I respect you. Thank you, mother. Mama. And thank you is marahaba from Arabic. Mama asante. Thank you, mother. Enchanté. Emilian. Please. Tafadhali. Tafadhali. May I come in? I have no memory of this. Word bank. Hodi. Ninajuka. What? Just Hodi's. May I come in? I am sorry for you. I have no memory of any of this. Samahani. Pole? Just pole means that. It's nice. Single word sentences. I am sorry for you. I don't know what that difference is. Boy, it really repelled everyone when we switched to this language. Thanks for your respect.
Marahaba.
Later, sister. Badaye dada.
Dada.
Thank you, mother. Mama asante.
Mama.
It did bounce back a little. What's going on? Yeah, I don't know about the ya and the za. It's a great question. It could be singular plural, like and wa. More data needed. Let's do key and V. And then I think I'll call it a day after one or two more of these. Spoons. Spoon or spoons?
Chakula.
Food. This cha reflects ki before a vowel. Kya becomes cha. Kiti. Kijiko. Kitabu.
Chakula.
Kiatu. So I guess shoes, plural, would be viatu. Spelled V-Y. Chakula, food. Knife, knives. Kisu.
Kisu na kijiko.
Kijiko. Knife and spoon. Toilet. Cho. This also has a key class marker on it. It has some inspiration from Romance languages. Good question. I'm afraid I don't know of any clear words from Romance. Of course, there could be. Romance languages being very widespread and important across the world in the last 5 centuries. But I don't know of any examples of Romance words. How about you, Levi?
Choo chetu.
I'm still a beginner at Swahili, so much more to learn than I have learned. Well, the thing with mama is it's a near universal that almost every language uses that two-syllable mama to mean the mother. The exception is the Georgian language, where mama means father. So it's not a good bit of evidence to build a case that that there's Romance influence. There's maman in French, mama in German says mama. Also, how do we know which one it's from? Some people in English say mama. What other languages? You could use it in Japanese too, even though it's not the official word for it. Cho chetu, chetu, our toilet. Possessive follows the thing. Yeah, Chinese also. Thank you. Mama means mother. Women's. What's women? Maybe the noun's going to go first. Cho for the toilet. Cha belonging to wanawake. Toilet of the women. Asha's book. Kitabu, book. And cha, it's ki, fused with a.
Cha.
Asha. Oh, how are we doing in our league? Second place. Hooray. Just barely. Kiwi. Books. Vitabu. Replace the ki with V to pluralize. Oh, here look. Kiingereza, the English language. Shoes. Viatu. keep the letter I, not Y. Ninahitaji visu. Hitaji was need. Ni, I need. I present need. Visu. Kisu, knives. Kisu singular knife. Visu plural knives. Language. English language. Kiingereza. Vyakula. Chakula. Plural food. Foods.
Ninahitaji vijiko.
Ninahitaji, I need. Vijiko spoons.
Vyakula vyao.
Now their food. So the possessive construction repeats that same class marker that's on the noun V and V. A shows it's a possessive marking word, and O means them, third plural. He likes to study, so it's going to be anapenda. To study is kusoma Kiswahili. This is a noun, so it gets a classifying prefix, ki. The teacher's chairs, we're going to put the chairs word first, which is viti, vya, possessive, walimu, plural teacher. All right, that's been quite a stream. Thanks to all of you for joining. Please give us a like or a follow if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next stream.